It's
happening.
fucking
Callie,
lousy.
Callie Larson is so excited for this.
Dude, anytime I've talked to Callie in the last 10 years, he's like, when you getting the band back together?
When I got scared and I left without a warning. I'm so freaking sorry that I didn't stay. Didn't mean to run and throw it all away. Brain wishing, hoping that it's not too late.
Very cool.
Anyway, I thought
We need
you'd like
to-
that being a whiskey guy.
We need to get Ronix whiskey.
Yeah, I didn't
Yes.
see you Jeremy that.
Yeah.
We need to get that and try it because like I said I'm skittish about these famous whiskey people because I had the Metallica one and it was garbage.
Have you ever tried Belfour? Doesn't Belfour have whiskey too?
I haven't tried his.
So
No.
ironic that Belfour would have an alcohol brand.
Yeah, yeah. Did you tell Johnny about the Advent calendar we had?
No, I did talk to Kleiner. He's getting a new one this year, and they promised him it would be legit.
An advent calendar?
One of the companies he works with, this whiskey company or bourbon company, whatever. I forgot what it's called. Flaviar.
Flaviar. You've definitely seen ads for it, John.
Yeah. But
Maybe.
last year they sent him like these advent calendars of whiskeys and stuff. Jeremy and I went over there and we're trying them. They were absolutely hideous.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it's kind of cool with an advent calendar with whiskey in it,
Well,
but
it was-
bad.
The first two we tasted were like water.
Yeah.
And then there was another one we tasted and we smelled it, went, wait a minute. And
Smelled
so it
like
comes
dirty
with the
socks.
book.
It was
So we're
terrible.
reading the book about what the flavor profiles are and stuff. And the first one was like a picture of a clam. And it was like, Jeremy and I didn't even sip it. Kleiner tried it. And he's like, nope. So he reached out to him because he does their commercials. He reached out to him and he's like, yeah, I think there might have been a problem here.
Here we are. We are. This is something. So I just told Cookie, I came home from work and took a nap because I was so excited for this. So welcome to the All Angles podcast. Absolutely make sure you like and subscribe.
Yes.
I don't know if I've done that yet, but I certainly will.
Yeah, we're not losing any viewership at this episode today. But one thing is for certain, I'm pretty sure we've not gone an episode without saying your name at least once. So everybody, this is he. He is him. Jeremy freaking Law. Where all stories start happening.
Good and bad.
Yeah. Everything begins and ends with Lawsy.
Yeah. But so this is coming from a pretty cool thing because Jeremy actually has a pretty outstanding resume when it comes to all this. Like from growing up in Canada, playing college hockey at Concordia in Minnesota. How long did you play pro? You played a little bit in the U-Haul, right?
I did. It was just one year, half a year in the U-Haul, and then the other half in the Southern Pro Hockey League.
Well, we definitely will get to that U-Haul year because there was he's in a documentary, even though you might not see him. So
Unless they show the bench or the stands.
I feel like we all have that in common. A lot of bench and stand time.
Well, mine wasn't even bench; it was just stands.
Yeah. And then Jeremy's been coaching now for quite some time, which is how I met him, which is how I met Cookie and how Cookie met him. And then we talked about this when we had Connor on our show. The small world it is when my very first coaching gig ever was at University of South Florida, the club team. And our goalie was none other than Nick Sullivan that Jeremy played with on the junior team in Florida that was run by none other than your buddy Heisler. So, but that small hockey world started a long time ago. But so before we get into the shenanigans, which that could be its own members only show.
I was gonna say that's a pay-per-view.
I'm glad. Actually, we have subscriptions now on our YouTube channel. We've reached the first tier. If you want to hear those stories that'll get us canceled, please subscribe. But let's kick off with the easy stuff and the fun stuff. Before we do that, also, Cookie is a little bit sick.
Yes.
If you see him coughing or hear him coughing or wondering why he sounds like
What did I do? I said Marge's sister in The Simpsons.
I was gonna call you Liam Neeson because of the raspy voice, but if you want to go Marge Simpson,
Hey, he's doing just fine.
that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna gas you up, but you ruined it.
I'll take that compliment any day.
But so Jeremy, let's start off with there's a lot with Jeremy and everything, and I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, I know.
But let's start off with the coaching, and I think Jeremy, was it your first year where you have just like the most insane ownership group?
So my first year, yeah, kind of. I coached for a guy named Tim Best in Texas, in Fort Worth. That was my first junior gig ever. I was actually, I had just decided to stop playing hockey because I wasn't very good and I was getting old. And I was partying with a good friend of mine in Boston, and I got a call from this guy in Texas. And he's like, "Do you want to coach?" And I'm like, I had never been to Texas. I actually flew from Boston to Texas to meet him and never left for, I think, 2 years. Just started coaching right then and there. So,
What team was that? What junior team was that?
that was the Fort Worth Texans in the Western States Hockey League.
The early
The
whistle.
whistle,
That
yeah.
And John, just that was pre-Nitex. That's when the rink was still called Blue Line.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then Blue
but
Line fell apart. And
Cookie, that year we played and practiced down by the Dallas Cowboys training facility, Valley Ranch.
Oh, Valley Ranch. Yeah.
Yep.
No. Yeah, I knew Tim well. There's a reason Blue Line failed and was available for Frank to buy it, and a lot of it had to do with Tim.
Yeah.
But in NITEX, it's funny with all the kerfuffle going on about the Dallas Stars and them over there now. Like I actually even posted on one of the articles about NITEX is actually the place to be.
Well,
And,
they're still part of that, even though it's a separate ownership. There's still the youth hockey is still part of that whole Dallas program, like in the Texas program.
so now even they're part of that because they weren't.
It's always been that way. That it's not. Again, this is a whole other episode, but just to give you an insight real quick, it's not. I mean, the Stars are I should say the Star Centers, not the Stars specifically, because I don't want to throw the NHL side of it under the bus for this, even though they've got a stake. It's the Star Center group that's kind of running the show and has the monopoly. And NITEX is one of the only non-Star Center rinks, but their youth program and everything still falls under the house program, still falls under all that, especially the travel program, because it's under not necessarily the Stars, but the Texas Amateur Hockey Association in general, which that in itself is a whole nightmare. So anyway.
Because that's not the way it used to be. Like when I was down there, I feel like NITEX had their own teams. You had the Ice Jets thing going on.
But this goes back to the whole issue, and again, we're getting off topic, which we're very good at. But
I actually forget the question.
Yeah, that's welcome to All Tangents podcast. But it all goes back to if you want to be able to play those games in Texas, you have to, bend the knee and join the club, or you're left out.
Or you have no one to play.
Yeah, so it still all comes back to the same thing.
All right, so that's Jeremy's time with
at tangent number one.
Tangent. Yeah, we're getting them out of the way quick.
Counter.
And then, so Jeremy, which was it where you started with the gamblers?
So that that was year 4 or 5. So after the Fort Worth Texans, I started coaching for Frank with the Texas Brahmas, and I did I want to say 3 or 4 years with Frank, and that's where obviously I met you guys. And after that, I I got a call from a guy in Tucson, Arizona. That offered me at that time boatload of money for that league, and he had some full tilt. I don't know if you guys remember full tilt poker back then. He had five of the poker guys that invested. He was buddies with one of them, Gavin Smith, and they got Daniel Negreanu, Eric Lindgren. I can't remember the other two, but there was 5 owners. Yeah, big name guys like. Daniel Negreanu at the time was, I think, number 1 in the world. Like, he was a big name guy. So
he's a Canadian guy and a big hockey guy too.
Yeah. So John McWilliams, he was the guy, the owner, and offered me like a free apartment, a golf membership, a bunch of money. Like that was probably still my best contract I've ever had coaching. And we went and put a team in Tucson called the Tucson Tilt. Our jerseys looked just like the poker logo, and those guys owned it. It was nuts.
That was after Brahmas. I thought that was before Brahmas.
It was before, because you told me. I mean, I remember you telling the story.
So yeah, you know what? It was in between the Fort Worth Texans and the Brahmas. That's what it was.
The only reason I know that, because going back, what I don't know, John mentioned this, but slight correction is Jeremy and I did not meet coaching. Jeremy and I met when he was the pro shop manager at the rink in Farmers Branch, and I was the hockey manager.
Yeah,
that's where we first met.
And that makes sense, Cookie, because I was actually suspended from USA Hockey at the time, and we can get into that. But so after the Texans, I went to Tucson. Just unbelievable opportunity. Working for those poker guys was pretty crazy.
Well, yeah, you mentioned a couple, like some insane bets they would make. Like they would bet on everything you said. Like what were give me your top 2 craziest bets that you're allowed to say.
So
that's a good caveat at the end there.
Well, I'll tell you my first experience meeting those guys. So they offered me a bunch of money. They wanted to fly me to Vegas to meet the ownership, and at this point I was taking the job. Like if these guys were legit, the money was that good. So they flew me to Vegas. I got picked up in a limo. I want to say Carmen Electra was in the limo with one of the poker guys.
Jeez.
It was nuts. Had no business doing the things I was doing that night, but we went to Gavin Smith's house, and they play poker nonstop. Like I'm telling you, if they're not in a tournament, they're playing poker at their house. I was young at the time. I was 25, 26. And they were trying to get me, greased up, and they actually, one of the poker guys was like, "I'll give you $100 for every Jaeger bomb you take."
Oh my God!
And they just had baseball wads of cash, and I mean, 26 at the time, I didn't have a lot of money. I mean, I think I did 6 in a row, got $600. It was crazy. So later that night, we went to the Bellagio. They wanted to go play at the poker room there. And I'll never forget this. This is literally 2 hours after I met these guys, standing in the Bellagio, and we're waiting for one of the guys to get out of the bathroom. And I think Gavin Smith pulled out about $10,000 cash, and he's like, $10,000. The next person out of the bathroom is a female. It was a long hallway with a men and a women on one side, and I think Eric Lindgren beside us, and he was like, "Done, I'll take that." So they're just like zoned in, looking down the hall, and then like a dude comes out, hands over 10 grand like it was nothing. I couldn't believe it. That was the first time I saw those guys in action.
I wouldn't bet $1 on that.
No, to them it was fun. Like they had literally, and then they were playing like Chinese poker or something. I don't even know what it was, and they were doing like $100,000 a hand. It was crazy.
Dude, these guys go into these casinos and playing poker. It's like these pros going to where all the amateurs are. That's like when you see the summer leagues and you got like Kuznetsov is skating in a men's league, or like McDavid and Draisaitl step into a beer league game.
Yeah.
Oh, you see it. I mean, the movie Rounders talks about that. I mean, Rounders is a phenomenal movie, but they talk about that. All the pros are just kind of hanging out at this table in Atlantic City, wherever they were. And next thing you know, these tourists walk up and they all just kind of look at each other like going, "Okay, yeah, we're about to have all their money."
I feel like now, like back then, there was those guys were just raking in money. I feel like now it's gotten so popular, and there's probably not as much of an advantage. But they were like literally Daniel Negreanu was one of the first. They called him Kid Poker.
Yeah.
I mean, he was one of the first guys to really make it big.
Well, and you said it best too, because someone might listen to this and go, "Man, what the hell's going on?" But you're, like you said, you're a 25, 26-year-old young dude just getting into coaching. You'd only done it for a very short time, and someone's throwing all this at you. I mean, who at that age is gonna say no?
I didn't have kids. I didn't have a partner then. I feel like, yeah, definitely might have not made the best choices, but yeah, the money was good, and it was a cool experience for sure.
Yeah, and you say maybe not made the best choices, and it did eventually kind of catch up to you. But I mean, I will say in your defense, at the time you didn't know you were doing something wrong.
Right.
And
So that
you paid the price for something you didn't know was wrong.
Right. So that year, the Western States Hockey League was a pay-to-play league, and these guys wanted to win. So they were like, Coach, like we have to win. Part of my coaching contract was if we won the league, they were going to pay for my seat at the main event, $10,000 buy-in, the World Series of Poker at the Rio. That was just one of my bonuses in the contract. Like $2,500 for every playoff win. We were, I want to say 29-0 at Christmas, and that's when we got shut down.
Oh my God!
What your scholarship goes, wait a minute.
Yeah, so we literally, they were like, hey, whatever you need to do to get the best players down here. So we offered guys, free apartments, golf memberships. Like no one had to pay. I mean, there was other teams doing it, letting guys play for free. You guys know coaching at that level, but not to the extent. Like these owners didn't care about bringing in money; they just wanted to win. So, being a coach and them saying I didn't have to charge players, I was like, great, let's get the best team down here we can.
And this was at a time too. So like the pay-to-play league, the junior A leagues. We talked about in one episode, the junior hockey used to be junior A, B, and C. Now everything's junior A, and you have the tiers, which are pay-to-play leagues with the exception of tier 2 and tier 1. And so this is all tier 3 junior A hockey, which is junior B / junior C at some places. And the guys had to pay, and if you scholarshiped them, they would be deemed ineligible by USA. The coaches and ownership groups could get in trouble. Yeah. We played a few teams that really didn't abide by that. But but at the same time, like it was supposed to be fair. This day and age, there's got to be zero regulations because, I mean, it's a first of all, teams will do anything to stay in business, let alone with anything else. But yeah, so Jeremy ends up just destroying the league. How long were you suspended for?
I got a 2-year suspension from USA Hockey. It was honestly, in my opinion, ridiculous because I knew there was other teams that were doing the same thing, and I actually, we had a player on my team. His brother was getting scholarshiped on a Phoenix team, like so. It happened, but we were like we were so good. I want to say Johnny and Cookie, that had to have been the best tier 3 junior team ever of all time.
Yeah, it sounds like
I had 4 BCHL All-Stars on our team. Just because we were, paying them and giving them golf memberships,
and that's when the BC was like the top league. In
Canada. It was nuts. Yeah, the fact that they left the BC to come play in Tucson was crazy in itself.
That's nuts. And then when did the Western States go to AAU?
Oh, that's a good question.
First or second year with you at the Brahmas. It happened. I think it was going into my second year with you. With the Brahmas is when what happened. So whatever year that was, I watched.
Yeah. So when I got suspended
out from your elite prospects, because you and I talked about this, your elite prospect shows you only coached the Brahmas for 1 year.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Someone's pointed that out to me, and it only has me missing a year at Missouri State, and I mean it's a mess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone looks at that anyway, so I don't care.
Well, I mean, my elite prospects, I think, only shows one game in the SI from when I got kicked out of the game and when I was coaching. I think that's the only thing that shows up on there. Yeah. So Brahmas go AAU. You guys are together for a little bit. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I can't even tell you the year. I mean, I think it was 2011 when I moved to Texas. And I was running the 2 gyms in Texas, the one in Mesquite and the one in Hearst. And the one in Hearst was around the corner.
Right.
From NITEX. And I just went, and I think I just shot Jeremy an email one day. I was like, hey, like, I'm a hockey guy, coached. I'm like, I don't know if you guys need anything. And I volunteered my my way in there, but I just wanted to be on the ice.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, Johnny, I think you were like asking if we had a gym or if you know, if our guys wanted to come work out for some trade or.
Oh, I think they were. Yeah, I was trying to get them to come into our
Yep.
gym.
Yep. And and then I think you came out to a couple practices and
Then we couldn't get rid of him.
yeah, the boys really liked you and I was like, man, this guy's kind of cool and yeah.
Yeah, I came out to a game first and just watched, and I was actually, because I didn't have a lot of expectations of junior hockey in Texas, and I get to NYTEX and I didn't know about the CHL team.
Yeah.
At the time, and I walk in, all of a sudden there's this like gorgeous rink. Like NYTEX is a nice rink.
It is a perfect junior facility.
When you get in there, and it's like the restaurant, and then the nice seating on both sides and everything like that. And then that's where your team was playing. I was like, holy crap, because this is before the NA team was there.
Yep.
And it was just Fonger and the pro team. And I was like, holy crap, what is this? And then you were like, hey, you want to come out to some practices? And I was like, hell yeah. And so that was a funny way of doing it. And then I remember I was playing some open mics, and I told Cookie this story. And Jeremy, I don't know if you remember this. The first time I invited you guys to, I was like, yeah, I'll play an open mic. Just come have some beers or come have some drinks. And then you're like, yeah, dude, let's do it. And then Cookie looks up and goes, I don't want to go. Straight up said no. And you're like, yeah, that's Cookie. And then he's like, yeah, but watch, Jeremy won't even show up. And then you did not show up either. So,
Cookie probably wouldn't let me or something. Yeah. Sorry about that, John.
I don't do it. I don't go out. You guys know that. That'll be a theme here as we move along. I don't. Yeah.
But well, you know what's funny is Cookie was there for a lot of the shenanigans in Vegas. I remember we spent the first time shocked that Cookie was doing it and rolling out with us. And
John, you were always my first date. Like I used to pray, like if I was going on a first date with a girl and you were playing, I was like that was a great way to go out and have some drinks. Huh?
I'm glad you cleared that up. That was going a weird direction.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's true. That's because especially down at the 10 was cool because right in downtown Dallas.
Yep.
And I think that's a cool spot. I don't even know if it's there anymore.
I don't think it is.
But I'm not surprised, man. What is around anymore? But yeah, so then we ended up coaching, and I was with these guys for quite a bit. We have our famous lip syncing video.
Oh, God.
Well, actually, me and Cookie were actually singing, and only one person was lip syncing.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I probably should have. I probably almost killed us because I was driving while also having my phone out with the lyrics, trying to read them in the dead of night. Yeah.
Nobody will almost kill us while driving like Lozzie.
But
were we
John,
coming back from El Paso?
Yeah. Lozzie and I have a question for you, John.
Oh, boy.
What the hell were you doing on your laptop in the back of the car?
I have no idea. It's not like I had a MiFi thing or anything.
No.
Plenty of fish.
I didn't have internet. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I was doing back there. I think it was just like.
Were you playing the music?
Like, no, that was on the. No, we had that. Yeah.
No, there's zero reason why I would have been on my laptop doing anything back there, but I was. I have no idea. Good thing because it was so dark, you wouldn't have seen me back there, even with the dome light. And then, that was coming back from Paso for meetings, right?
I
think so.
The meetings or meetings / national tournament.
Yeah, and that was when I had to kind of sneak my way in your car out there because Frank didn't want me to go because he had already banned me for the rink for calling him frugal.
You're not wrong.
No, I'm not. And that was the nicest way I could have said it. But then, so.
It really was. You didn't call him a cheap bastard. You said frugal. That's actually not a horrible thing to say.
No, and then it was, I just remembered being on the way there and Frank called you and was fierce. He's like, is McCurry with you? Why is he with you? And because me and Cliff were going to meet with Cheyenne.
Yeah.
And for that whole thing. But there's just too many funny times. And I think it's just like the whole hockey guys are always such goofballs, and it's always constantly pranking each other, and it's never hostile.
No. This is the longest, John. This is the longest you've ever frozen.
I'm not frozen.
You were.
Well, then I'll just put up a lot of pictures. But they're never I think the worst thing that ever happened to me was you guys turning the seat heater on and dang near turned me bright red on the way to El Paso. Was that the same trip?
Yeah, I just love, John, that that lasted like 2 hours before you realized.
Yeah, you never even noticed.
The Lozzie looks at me and goes, "You all right? You're sweating quite a lot." I'm
We're,
just
we're
sweating.
driving to like the hottest place in the country with seat heater on.
Was just sweating because in the car I had, my seat heaters were like up at the front, and they just were right where Jeremy rests his arm in that car, and I'm just sweating. And he's like, "You're like, I'm comfortable," and Cookie's in the back, like, "Yeah, I feel pretty good." I don't know what's wrong, and I'm beat red, and I'm just.
Not only that, but you had the sun like blasting through your window too on the driver's side.
Oh, it was the worst.
You're getting it from all angles for sure.
I was just bright red. I was bright red when we got there. It ruined my trip to Tortuga.
I was about to say, we can't talk about El Paso. And I, again, as the guy that doesn't go out, I wasn't there, but I hear enough about Tortuga.
Dude, Tortuga was a great place for us to go, and the girls bought us drinks. It was the weirdest thing ever. It was a decent bar.
The ratio had to have been like 7-1 too.
Yeah. Like Cookie, that was the one you messed up by skipping out on.
I really don't think I messed that up.
But you know, my other favorite part about El Paso is that Italian restaurant we'd go and eat before games.
Oh, good.
The bullet holes.
Bullet
With
holes.
the bullet holes in the windows. Yeah,
It was so good.
that place
so
really
good.
was. Man, that place, yeah, because there's a guy I work with. He actually was stationed in El Paso for a while, and he's from there. And he knew about Tortuga, and he said there's a lot of businesses with bullet holes in the window. Like he can't really pinpoint.
Probably less without.
Yeah, exactly. And then the two things from Paso is I think it was just us almost going to Juarez that one time on the bus. Was that with us, Cookie, or was that with?
Well, it happened. I mean, you run that risk every time you're there because the exit for the fairgrounds where the rink is the same exit.
Is brutal.
As the border, and you got to make sure you're in the proper lane to go left, because if you go right, you're
at the border.
Screwed. You're absolutely screwed.
And that's like a 20-lane border too. I mean, it's massive.
Oh, you're there for hours and
Yeah.
hours. So if we're in a bus and we get stuck in that, there's no turning around anytime soon.
Cully told me the funniest story from that rink. He was playing pro when they had a pro team there, and I don't know what team he was on. Maybe Wichita, something like that. When they pulled into the El Paso parking lot, this was, back in the, I want to say early 90s, maybe mid 90s. They parked their bus, and then a manhole cover popped open, and there was like 14 Mexican people just scattered. He said it was like a Pez dispenser. They were just popping out of that manhole.
I mean, just think of the time they took to make those drains, man.
Yeah.
Get over there. Well, and that was the other. I think wasn't it? Again, I can't remember if it was one of the New Mexico trips or one of the Texas trips. As we're going through there, because that high school was right there next to the border thing too, and like they were shooting across the border at the high school.
Mm-hmm.
And like I guess the players heard them like ringing off the goalposts, and everyone like had to run inside and stuff like that. It's like, can you imagine that's your high school? It's like, oh, practice delayed. Why they're shooting at us from Juarez again?
Yeah, that was a bad deal. So I think a young girl lost her life because of that.
Really?
Yep.
Oh man, I just remember it happening like while we were on our way to the arena.
Yeah.
From a hockey standpoint, though, I loved going to Paso. Absolutely loved it. Players, there was a lot of players that was very intimidated by it because the crowd was bananas. But I loved that atmosphere. And John, you remember when we freaking beat them?
Yeah. Thanks to Dakota.
Yeah, thanks to Dakota and our goaltender. And I remember
the Renegades beat Paso.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it was
in overtime.
In overtime.
That's impressive, fellas.
Well, let's put it this way.
They always had a powerhouse, yeah.
We legitimately needed a police escort to our bus to get out of there because the fans were waiting for us after that one.
Because they had like nickel beer night or something like that too.
It was something like that, yeah.
Because with the military base. And I remember being there with the Brahmas and just like a solid 2 or 3 line brawls.
Oh, the best one ever with the O'Donnell brothers. I mean, that was just an epic brawl. And that video is still on YouTube somewhere, by the way.
Yeah, you sent it to me not too long ago.
Yeah, I did. I found it by accident. It's still up with the O'Donnell brothers. That was unbelievable.
And mind you, for people watching that don't know, this is a league where fighting was legal. Like And by legal, it's a 5-minute penalty.
5-minute penalty, not
But, like,
out. Yeah,
and we had there were some good fighters.
dude, Cole
yeah.
Davis. You know,
Oh yeah.
We had a tough team. I think El Paso always had a tough team, but
Yeah.
our Brahmas team that one year we had some legit fighters for sure.
yeah.
Which is crazy. You're looking at kids 16, 17 years old, and I got one or two in 1920 that could just throw knucks like no other.
Yeah.
And that was actually, it's funny. Like at the time, you're like, this league is a mess. And it was a mess, but man, was it fun.
It was fun. And it was good. And we talked about this. It was still good hockey too.
Yeah.
Like it was quality hockey.
Yeah.
It was, in my opinion, for the most part, it was better than like these tier 3 leagues out there now.
Oh, for sure.
Allowing the imports, the
Yeah.
Western States Hockey League, I think it was just as good as the North American Hockey League now.
Yeah.
Back then, the top teams, obviously there was
especially
the
the top
bottom feeders, but yeah, the top teams were very
Like
legit.
Idaho is always really good.
Yeah.
And
Idaho, Paso.
Fresno had a really good team.
yeah.
And that was the other cool thing. It was scattered out because like when you play juniors in the Northeast, like you're playing Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York.
Yeah, you're driving an hour or two for a game, not
Yeah.
15
And like
hours.
we went to Cheyenne and it's a 15-hour drive, or going up to Boulder. I didn't go to Fresno, but I think you guys flew to Fresno, didn't you?
that I never got to go to Fresno. That was before and after.
Yeah, I think we did because that would have been a hike for sure.
Yeah, no, we drove to Vegas though, and that was a crazy long trip. And even from Albuquerque, it was still like 7 hours to Vegas.
Well, the El Paso trips were always fun because we'd come back through the checkpoints along the way,
Yeah.
and we'd have all these, Swedes and Latvians and all that, and jackasses would forget their passports, and we'd sit there for hours while they're figuring out whether they're legal or not. Yeah.
And then let's not forget the most fun part is our team bus was Aerosmith's old tour bus.
It was a beautiful looking bus, but it was a piece of shit.
Never
Yeah,
worked.
it broke down all the time, but yeah, those were fun days riding that bus, and
Oh yeah.
all the Western States Hockey League cities that had teams too. They're fun places to go.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah, Cheyenne was always. I mean, Cheyenne put on a good game. Like they had a lot of people come to the games up there. Boulder was pretty rowdy. Like for a junior team, especially in an area like Boulder, that's got tons of college hockey, and Boulder still bringing people out for a junior game. Like that was a lot of fun. And then me and Cookie ended up in New Mexico.
And I mean, I will say selfishly, I have Jeremy personally to thank for that, because Jeremy and I had these conversations a lot back then, and we still have similar conversations now. I was always very hesitant to go try and be a head coach at that level. And he flat out told me, he's like, dude, just go do it. Like, don't think about it. Just go do it. I never would have taken, well, I told you this too. I think we talked about it on the show. There's two reasons. I never would have taken that job had I not had those conversations. Like we had some pretty heavy conversations at times. We still do at times, but about, my career and all that. But I never would have done it without that conversation. I never would have done it if you hadn't have gone with me, because I was terrified to do it on my own.
And it was
Cookie, you were always, fully capable of being a head coach, in my opinion. I think and you'll even agree with this, the thing that would have been your hesitation, or the only thing that I thought might have held you back, is just the recruiting aspect.
Oh, it still does. I mean, I've said it on the show. I mean, it's not a strong point of mine. And there's a lot of reasons, and we've had this conversation many times, and I don't say this to put myself down. John and I have talked about this, not on here necessarily, but my skill set 100% fits the role of, associate head coach or assistant coach. And that's not to put me down. That's just where my skill set lies. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
And it's paid dividends for me, maybe not financially, but it's, from a career standpoint, I really no complaints. And I've been able to coach with both you, and in particular, God, I got to stop. I'm going to start pumping his tires again. This jackass with the Yankees hat on. I get to coach with him for quite a while now.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is I think that same feature that holds, like, you think is a hindrance to recruiting is the same quality me and Jimmy have, that why we still talk to former players.
Yep.
And,
Yeah, I don't know if Jeremy saw this. Like you and I had this conversation multiple times. I don't keep in touch with former players.
Jeremy doesn't watch our show, remember?
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, no, I've definitely seen a couple episodes.
No, I'm lying now because we're recording. But no, you guys both do that. You're very much, not that I'm not paying attention to what's going on, although I say that now, and you brought up names the other day that I hadn't even thought about in years. But yeah, it is. You're right. That's a personality trait or whatever you want to call it that you guys have that I don't. Not necessarily a negative thing, although it could be. But yeah, I've never really been that guy.
Yeah, and I mean it's funny. I think it's just a way to kind of see what everybody's up to, and it almost at least if the players are still talking to you, at least you know you did something right because they still want to talk to you.
And as we said, it doesn't make me any less proud of what those guys are doing. Very proud of what those guys have become. It's fun when you do hear about their successes and being, whether it's in hockey or life and families and all that stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's me and you ended up going to New Mexico, and that first year, I think our first exhibition game was against Lozzie because they were on their way.
Oh, that's right.
They were on their way somewhere, and they came out to New Mexico, and we just had and I think you tuned us up pretty good too, Lozzie.
Isn't that?
I remember that game at either one of my players or one of your players got seriously injured.
It was ours. I remember. That's what I was about to say.
It was Doty.
I just remember the ambulance having to come, and it was someone like ruptured a spleen or something.
Well, I don't even know if we finished the game. I do remember that though. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we did because we couldn't get an ambulance back.
Yeah,
they had to be there. I think I'm almost positive it was Doty.
It might have been. Yeah.
But he came back. I mean, not too long after. He wasn't out that long, but it was just a weird thing. And but yeah, you were on your way to Boulder, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that sounds right. And then just stopped to play you guys a little kind of friendly exhibition game, right?
Yeah, because we were a halfway point for wherever you were headed, and you had to go through us anyway. And then it was just that one weird thing, and then
and then we played him in Vegas.
Oh, right.
And we absolutely blew it.
For 2 periods, you guys had us. Yeah.
We freaking dominated, and then absolutely just shit the bed and blew it.
Was that the only game? Did we? Oh, we didn't win.
No, that was the game we thought we were going to win. And it was against Jeremy, and no, we didn't win.
Yeah, no, it was with the Brahmas. We won every game except for one, which is the most hilarious story of everything that happened in that game in Vegas. We'll go back to that one a little bit later. But that was honestly the most. That story will stick with me. It's probably my most memorable coaching story ever. But so me and Cookie ended up in New Mexico, and then after we both left New Mexico, Jeremy ended up with our old owner, who's finally like, "Oh, I'm ready to pay somebody now," and that's how Jeremy ended up in Springfield.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't even know what to say about how that whole thing worked out.
He wanted Jeremy the whole time. Mac would
always wanted Jeremy.
Mac would tell us to our face, like, "Oh, I'd want Jeremy. I'd love to have Jeremy. He's like, "I'm going to pay you guys nothing. Like, I hope you can get food stamps or something to live." But Jeremy, here's a car and a private jet, and I got the full tilt guys back involved. Like, let's pay him. But that's how Jeremy ended up in Springfield with the Express, where you were there for what? Was it 2 seasons?
2 or 3. My memory's terrible, guys. I think it might have been 2. I was there 2 years. I didn't come back. So you know what? It might have been 3. It might have been 3. I think I was there with Mac for 2 years, and then the new owners for a 3rd year.
And that new owner.
And Mac, I know you guys feel differently. Mac treated me well. I know that wasn't the case for you guys, but how we chose Springfield was kind of funny too. So that was a whole experience. So he said he wanted me to coach. He wanted to move the team, and he's like, move it wherever you want. Like, if you're gonna coach, I was dating a girl in Colorado at the time, so I wanted to. Selfishly, I'm like, hey, I love Colorado. My girlfriend's there. We went there and looked at every rink possible, but nothing. There was no locker room available, or there was another team too close. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but the Western States Hockey League had like a radius rule.
Yeah.
So as bad as I wanted to put it in Denver area, we just couldn't find a rink that could host us. And I was living in Dallas at the time, and I hadn't even heard of Springfield, Missouri. Had no idea, where it was or anything like that. And he was like, "Well, let's go check out this rink. They used to have a team." And I came here, and it was a beautiful rink. Cookie will tell you. I mean, the rink here is great, and didn't have a junior team at the time.
I remember you guys like building out the locker rooms, and like you even brought the old equipment guy from New Mexico, Kevin Blair, out there to help build all those things out. And then you guys got those uniforms are sick.
Yeah, we had great swag, great uniforms. We got really good fans too. I mean, we would get 800 to 1,200 fans a night. So
yeah,
John, the irony is we're using those stalls again.
Oh, those are the ones?
Those are the ones.
Oh, that's amazing.
We're back in that room, John.
Back in that room. That's the jury room now.
Which is funny because, so you guys were there, and then you stayed there for Missouri State, built out another locker room because that was a new program, right? Or were they there?
No, they were there. They were just right across the hall. So.
In fact, this coming year is the 25th anniversary.
Oh, so they've been there for a while.
Yeah.
And then things wrap up in Missouri State, which, without saying too much about it, I mean, it came from bitterness that they didn't want to renew you guys, from what I understand. And then now you're still in the same rink with a brand new program. You had 1 year at D2 and now 1 year at D1, where you guys killed it.
Yeah.
At D1, you lost one game, I think?
Two
games?
in the regular season. Yeah. We lost the third game of the year and the second to last game of the year.
Which
and
is just
one loss at Nationals.
One loss at Nationals, yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a money thing, but Nationals should be more than like a single elimination thing for hockey.
Not really a money thing at D1. They just, I mean, and I'm an advocate for not having the one and done, but and Jeremy, can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not a money reason, because all the other levels play series, or not series, but play round robin.
I think so the way I understood it is, ideally, if you had like more of a regionals before you get to nationals, but it's just the fact of having 20 teams there and coming from,
and it's
California,
24 now, actually, I think.
Yeah. So it is.
Because there's so many. So there's so many teams there. So like maybe
too many teams. Yeah. I think you'd just have to be there too long. So at that point, it is somewhat of a money thing too.
Yeah. From that standpoint, sure.
Yeah, but I mean, if there's that many teams there, I mean, it almost sounds like if it's going to be that good of a tournament, then you need to have another qualifying round elsewhere, maybe at a home rink.
Well, and they've talked about that, adding a regionals, but even the regionals with kind of how D1 is set up could get a little awkward for sure. And again, you're talking about money because that's travel for somebody.
Yeah, well, even regionals, if you look at NCAA D1 regionals, they're not regionals as broken up by teams from that region.
Yeah, no.
Because like I remember in Bridgeport when I shot the regionals out there, it was Notre Dame. Oh, freaking A, who else was there? It was Notre Dame. I think Denver was there. It was team Quinnipiac was there, and somebody else was there. It was hosted by Yale, but they didn't even make the regional tournament there.
ACHA, they wouldn't have really a choice because of the financial side of it.
Yeah.
Teams, a lot, 90% of the teams not being school funded, they would have to make it truly regional, but that doesn't necessarily benefit anybody. I mean, just look at, the conference we used to be in when we were at Missouri State that they're still in, the WCHL. I mean, the conference now includes San Diego State. I mean, you have 3 Arizona teams, 2 Colorado teams, UNLV, Utah, all in the same conference. It has.
I think it's because you guys.
Missouri State. What's that?
I think it's a lot of it because you guys are kind of in a crazy spot where. Well, actually, no. There's still a lot of teams by you.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, and Jeremy and I have talked about this. We even tried it this year. It didn't work. We wanted to start potentially a new conference, and this isn't. I'm not saying anything out of order. It's kind of a known thing. We were trying something that would include, we were calling it like the I-44 or whatever conference. It was like the St. Louis schools and all that. I mean, that's only 3 hours away.
The 44 corridor, brother.
Yeah.
Come on, man. The marketing writes itself.
Yeah. So, but it didn't work out because, other teams, not that they weren't interested, but they kind of had other ideas they were working on themselves, which is fine. I mean, we're enjoying being independent. We get to make the schedule we want. We're not, we don't get stuck with teams we don't want that, might
Oh, it's great. We got 19 home games this year and 10 on the road. So
Holy crap.
Couldn't ask for a better situation there.
So because you guys aren't part of a specific division, like you can just
Yeah, we're independent. We can schedule whoever we want.
dang, that's actually pretty cool.
That's
Like
great.
now,
Yeah.
I mean, I loved road trips. Like hockey road trips are some of my favorite times, but they get tired. They get exhausting.
Well, especially, I mean, and not that we're trying to take this away from our guys, but Jeremy and I aren't exactly kids anymore. They're rough. I mean, we're going to Bismarck, North Dakota this year, which is going to be amazing. That's going to be a long one, man. I mean, that's what did you say,
15 hours.
15 hours.
Bismarck, North Dakota, and amazing in the same sentence. Cookie, you good?
It's going to be fun because we're going in September. We're not going in November. Or December.
Yeah. All right. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
Is
no,
that,
it's going to be fun. But the rest of our trips are not too bad. I mean, we're going our big trips to Chicago. That's going to be a blast when we go to the showcase there in November. But yeah.
That's the thing. That's the other thing. You guys, I remember you guys, especially Lawsy. I don't know how the frick you did it. Lawsy could sleep anywhere on a bus.
Dude, he's asleep before the bus leaves the parking lot.
Yeah, I don't know how the heck
I
he
can't
pulled
sleep on
that
a bus.
off.
Okay, let's clarify though. I can only do it on a sleeper bus. I can't do it sitting up anymore.
You never were in a bunk on a sleeper bus.
No, he took over the big ass couch, so you and I didn't have a place to sit.
I was sitting like on a counter or something.
We would sit at that little dining table.
The Brahma's bus couch was pretty unreal.
Yeah.
TV right there.
We wouldn't know.
Yeah, I never knew about it.
I think the only time I ever sat on it was going from hotel to the game.
Yeah, I had to pull head coach rank on that one.
But
Oh God,
and then they had the back room. That thing had its own private back room, which was just the bench.
it's the suite. Yeah.
Which I mean, you'd open that door and you never saw a group of guys cuddling so hard in your life, but they were all out cold back there. But so now we're going into year 3 at Drury. Are you guys as strong as before, or how you guys look? I know you guys are all but 3 players are Canadian.
2. Yeah, 29 guys on the roster, 27 are Canadian.
And is that a lot of help? Do you still have a lot of help coming from your dad there, Lozzie?
Yeah, you know what? It's a couple of years ago. He helped me a lot for sure, and then I've become really good buddies with a lot of guys in that league in the KIJHL, and now I tell Cookie all the time, like, we don't have to do much recruiting anymore. Our players do all the recruiting. So, like, literally, that we've kind of owned that KIJHL league. We have, I think, 15 or 16 guys from that league, Cookie?
At least, yeah. I mean, we brought in 7 new guys this year, and I think only 2 aren't.
We're not from that
2 or
league.
3 aren't from that league.
Aren't they? Are they going junior A?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole. Yeah, it's a whole thing up there right now.
It's they're just called junior A, but it's the same thing. They just got rid of the junior B title.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're following in the U.S. footsteps now?
Yeah.
Ever since the BCHL decided to leave and do their own thing, it's kind of turned into the Wild West up there.
Oh, because it left it wide open now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then and that's the other funny part. So, Jeremy, you were born in Moose Jaw, right?
Yep.
And then how long did you live there?
Lived in Moose Jaw till I was 15, and then my dad transferred to Penticton. I think he was on we had tried to move to BC for like 20 years, and he finally, got a transfer with Canada Post, and we moved out there, and so 15, lived in Moose Jaw till I was 15, and then lived in Penticton until I was 17, and then started playing juniors.
And then I mean, all I'm hearing about Penticton and Osoyoos area is just like the most gorgeous area in the summers.
It's beautiful. It's kind of like Canada's Napa Valley. Lots of wineries, orchards, beautiful beaches, lakes. Very beautiful area in the summer.
It's up there. You're still quite in the mountains there too, aren't you?
Yeah. We're at the little bit into the Rockies, but mostly that's in Alberta.
Yeah.
But it's pretty mountainous, like the smaller mountains anyway. But yeah, it's a nice area for sure.
Nice, yeah. What's funny is of all the places. By the way, I still have my Osoyoos hoodie that your dad gave me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, with the little coyote on it there.
He's taking a year off this year. He's not coaching this year. So,
and for anybody out there, if you ever come across Ken Law, just give the guy a hug. I want him to adopt me. Jeremy's parents are such amazing people.
Yeah.
And like if you met him for 5 minutes, you'd be like, oh, you have to be from Canada because America doesn't make people like that. But they're pretty awesome. And like your dad, I just remember being, especially like any of the trips, like if your dad was there, like your dad would just be rolling out with us, no problem.
Oh, he's one of the boys for sure.
Yeah.
He came to National. Well, they both came to Nationals this year, and it was a blast.
That's so great. And now Jeremy, like super dad here. And this is a really important question I have. So Jeremy's got 2 daughters from one marriage and another daughter from another. How do you keep having kids that are way better than you?
I don't want to ask that question. I don't know the answer, but I don't care. My daughters are amazing. Yeah.
Like I remember where sometimes like I would watch Story of Maisie.
When they were little terrorists back then.
Yeah, but it's also even back then we knew something was up. Like they were super smart. Because I remember even like when you sometimes not at the Plex but at the Loft, I would end up watching Story of Maisie for a little bit, and like I didn't have to really do anything except answer 8,000 questions per minute that they might have had. But now they're all like they're grown up.
Oh,
it's crazy. Story. My oldest is starting college at Drury this year, so it's crazy.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. And then Maisie, how old's Maisie now?
She's 16, turning 17 in November.
So 2 of your kids can drive.
Yes.
And then,
yeah.
My God, man, it's just, and I'm yet to meet
Zoe.
Yeah, and like I've just always seen the pictures and stuff like that because
she's the life of the party, man.
Yeah, she's a character for sure. Story, literally like honor student. Like going in to be what's the physician's assistant at PA?
Oh, okay.
Just super smart, has a full-time job, like juggling school, and they're amazing.
I can't see her anything other than like being a kid.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird thing. And like, she's doing all that. So she's not going to make mistakes like getting people's names tattooed on them and cover them up with a British Columbia flag.
8:59, you pull that one out, eh?
He's been holding that one in for a while.
Actually, I forgot about it, and I just I thought about it because I was telling somebody these stories the other day about like just tattoo things. I thought about it the other day too because Cookie was saying like, yeah, Jeremy's got. Cookie was saying you got something similar to this now, huh?
So I got my tribute to Moose Jaw here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but
yeah.
It's that's a picture of me playing on the pond, and then if you can see up top there, the grain elevator where I grew
really
up.
Cool, yeah.
Oh, so you're actually like on the farm. You're one of the Canadian farm kids.
Yeah, I lived in the prairies. Yep.
Dude, that's
so. I mean, I lived in the city, but on the outskirts is where this pond I used to go to, and that's a grain elevator in Beauharm, Saskatchewan. They literally a population of I think 27.
That's crazy. But that's the funny part. Like you remember Youngblood, like Back to the Farms, Rookie. It's like the farm. It's a real thing. Like the farms.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was. I loved growing up in Moose Jaw. And my first job when I was I think like 12, I got paid to open up the outdoor rink every night, turn on the lights, make hot chocolate, and I would just play on the rink and get paid to do it.
That's literally the best job I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. It was awesome. There was a warming house, and I would have to open it up, I think, at 6 o'clock every night, and then shut it down at 10 o'clock.
Man, and that's the funny part is like, it's something we actually hadn't talked about. Like in upstate New York, we had most winters, we had frozen places to play on. Sometimes it just didn't get that cold. Not, and then Cookie was up in high school in the Adirondacks for a lot of it. So, I mean, everything's frozen up there. But there's no off years in Saskatchewan.
No.
When it comes to
so growing up in Moose Jaw, I think we had a population of 35,000 when I was a kid there. And there were, I want to say 11 rinks in town.
Jeez.
That's
Like it's not. It was crazy.
that's what you expect out of Canada.
Yeah.
So now we got the third year coming up, and coming into the end of this one here with, and for everybody, like, you kept hearing me and Cookie talk about Lozzie. You guys have heard nothing. This is Jeremy's story, but Jeremy's story.
Episode 1.
Yeah, this is Jerry. Jeremy's story is awesome though, just because like where he's been and the fact he's been coaching, and then like your records everywhere have been really good. Like your win-loss record. Do you have a collective record right now of juniors and everything?
I don't know. Cookie always knows that stuff more than I do. But
I don't. I know that. I don't know off the top of my head. I know the college one, but the junior one, because all the stats are so screwed up on elite prospects and all that. I don't know that one.
We know he's got 29 wins with no losses at one part of it. So
I will say I always worked really hard at building good teams, and I think a lot of my record or my success is the guys I brought in. Like you have the right ingredients and it does the work. So
yeah.
And you were always, me and Cookie have always said it. Like, you've always been this phenomenal recruiter.
Yeah.
Like you can talk to guys. I remember being in New Mexico. We talked to a couple guys that talked to you, and they didn't want to come to us because they were talking to you, and they still didn't sign with you, and still didn't come to us. But so all right. So we got the college thing here, and just what's down the road for Jeremy Law? Like, what do you want to do? Like, I mean, you've been coaching a long time. Do you still want to keep coaching, or do you want to move up?
I'll be honest. I can't picture myself not coaching or not in the game at some capacity. Fortunately enough, I don't know what it's like to have a 9-to-5 desk job or a office job. I've been real fortunate to get paid to coach, and having the summers off. I mean, I'm definitely spoiled in that department.
So we're following the Kenny Law footsteps, huh?
Yeah, I would love to be a lifer coach, and where I end up, I know right now, having kids and having them go to Drury. I mean, that's huge for us right now. But ultimately, I don't think I'll be in Springfield forever. But I don't know where the end game is. So
are you gonna come coach the Capitals, and I'll have to do your headshot every year?
I would love that, Johnny. Absolutely love that.
You, Cookie, and Carberry just run the bench.
Yeah.
You'll have to be an assistant coach because Carberry just won the Jack Adams. So
yeah, no, I would gladly.
I have no desire to coach at that level.
Well, no, Cookie's going to go up there and work for Cali in Edmonton.
Cali wouldn't even hire me in Dubuque. Yes, Cali. I'm saying this. I love Cali though. I will give him shit, but I love Cali. I tried to get him to hire me a few times. I think at one point he offered me the equipment manager job.
The janitor. I'll be the locker room janitor.
Yeah. Kelly's a beauty. He used to help us get players from Sweden. I love that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
And
Cali,
again,
I love Cali. He's great, man.
And we talked about his route. I mean, when I first met him, he was the assistant coach at Lawrence, and then ended up in Dubuque, where he moved up through the ranks, and now working in the NHL. It's insane.
Well, that's just it. We know a couple of those guys that have made those amazing kind of journeys. I mean, we don't personally know John Cooper. He's kind of the poster child for doing it, starting at tier 3 and moving up. But, John and I are friends. Jeremy's very close with, Josh Hauge, who just had the dream run there for a while and still crushing it at Union. But to go from NA to an assistant at the USHL, thinking he's getting called in to get fired, next thing you know, he's the head coach. Like, it's just crazy, man. Crazy.
Jeremy, have you ever wanted to get up there and coach at like the USHL or anything like that? Or are you?
Yeah, I would love that. I'll be honest. Like, I think I found a niche here at this level, like ACHA D1. I mean, don't want to say it's, I'm not trying to be lazy or anything, but I definitely less work than that level. And
oh yeah,
I'm comfortable here. I kind of know what it takes to win at this level. And for me at this age, being 45 now, I just want to be comfortable and my kids are happy and I'm making a decent living, and that's what's important. So
you're happy at that. I mean, in the ACHA D1, it's not a joke league. I mean, it's a serious league. There's some really good players, and now you get the whole the NIL and being able to recruit CHL players, which is kind of crazy.
Yep. Absolutely. So.
But we know Jeremy's got to go be a dad.
Yeah, I got some kids here, and it's getting close to bedtime, so
it's just I still can't get past that stories in college.
Stories in college.
It's just been so freaking long. But yeah, and you just said you're 45. We all met when me and you met. We were in our early 30s.
Yep.
What are you trying to say?
And Cookie was like still 59.
Yeah, I knew something was coming. Yep.
Actually, I wasn't gonna say anything until you opened the door. But
well, you were thinking it because you said when you two met and left me out of that. I knew what was coming.
Oh yeah, I mean my face.
I am the old guy here.
But Jeremy, we talked about you so much in the show, and honestly, you're just one of the best people we know. It's funny, as much as we could, we've never even talked trash on you. You've always just been like, even Callie will say, just like the three amigos or the getting the band back together and stuff like that. It's kind of cool to know that even in a short period of time, like the three of us as coaches, like made a scene one way or another.
Yeah.
But just
essentially, I was only with the Brahmas for barely 2 years because I kind of joined midway through, and you were there for one.
Yeah, because I did the same thing that next year.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a cool starting place for really me and Cookie.
Yeah.
And and you're still extremely successful, and it's awesome to see. It's awesome to see because and the thing is, personally, you've been through some shit.
Yep.
And me and Cookie were laughing on the phone earlier about how you were having a hard time even getting your license unsuspended at one point because you couldn't get your citizenship thing worked out. And that's the thing, is like it wasn't even to no else is doing, but just like one thing held up the other thing.
Yep.
And but here he is, and like there's not a person I know that'll say anything bad about you. So leave it to me and Cookie. We'll do all the shit talking.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, fellas.
But Jeremy, we'll have to have you back. I look forward to being out there this year, which I am going to make happen this year because it looks like there's a lot of Caps time off when you guys have games, and I'm going to look into that Chicago weekend because that'll be cool too.
Yeah. Kenny G is coming. My dad's coming that weekend, so
sold.
If you can come out, yep.
Yeah.
Sold. But Jeremy, man, we I know it's last minute, but we appreciate you finally coming to check this out. And Jeremy, if you get a chance, if you are nice enough to do it, if you could just throw this page a subscribe, and
I will do that. I'm looking right now. Where do I subscribe here?
YouTube, Jeremy. You're not on there right now.
All right. I will go do that, fellas, and I appreciate you guys having me on.
That was fun.
All right, Jeremy, we love you, buddy. We look forward to having you back.
Love you guys. Talk to you later.
Later.
That's
him. That's Jeremy Law. You know what's funny is like there's so many times we could have kicked into stories and like ran amok with it, but it's Jeremy. It's just freaking impossible.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's be honest, some of those stories don't need to be on air.
No, and none of them
are like great. Yeah, I was about to say none of them are like, yeah. It's not anything that's going to get us fired. Just stuff that just doesn't really need to be said.
No, the one story I'll talk about, we talked about it on the phone the other day, is when we were in Vegas. Was it for the tournament or was it meetings?
It would have been meetings because we wouldn't have gone out.
Yeah, well, that's not true either. Oh, because the showcase we certainly went out. That's a different story. But
I didn't.
Oh no, you were the good one, and the rest of that is a story. I almost want to tell it, but when we were out in Vegas.
You know what it was? It wasn't even. I don't even know if it was meetings. I think it was one of the showcases over the summer because that's why Ken was there.
Oh,
recruiting.
Maybe that was it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because was it global?
Probably. Yeah, it would have been global or yeah.
Yeah, and we were out because it was like the night started with me, Cookie, Lozzie, Brent Colton, and Derek Armstrong, and Kenny G, of course. And we ended up. Are you sure it wasn't meetings? Because I feel like Mac was there.
But Mac might have been there, but Ken wouldn't have been there for meetings.
That's true.
And we weren't going to party like that. At least I wasn't on the showcase weekend.
That's true, and you were out with us this night, and then it's like, you know, we started at a piano bar, and it was just all fun and games. It was just us hanging out with each other, and Derek
Fun
Armstrong,
game. Yeah.
yeah,
Until I was asked to remove my boot so someone could drink out of it.
yeah, and that's the thing is like Army and Cully have like a lot of pro experience,
Yeah.
and
NHL pro experience.
and
Yeah.
they're honestly too, they're hilarious.
They're great guys. They really are.
They're just too funny. And then it's just you know, it's the standard like Brent asking if I was from Canada. I was like, no, close enough. Dumps a drink over his head and chugs mine. Me having to take a full beer shot out of Cliff's boot.
Yeah.
That was honestly, I don't even like feet, so this the nightmare level.
That pair of boots has been through some shit.
Those boots got their own stories, man. They need their own books.
They do, and I still wear them.
And then we ended up at a place where, because I think it was Cully and Army, he's like, we're not going to a bar unless we have VIP. And we ended up there, and we met some people there, and there was a girl I took a very strong liking to, and things were going great. And Wazzy told her I was married with 2 kids,
Yeah.
and I was not.
No, that was him.
No,
Well, he wasn't, well, he wasn't married. Let's clarify. He wasn't.
No, he wasn't married, but he definitely had 2 kids.
But he definitely had 2 kids.
And then the best part is the girl that I liked, her friend was the one sitting with Jeremy and knew it was a joke, and nobody helped me out. You guys all left me for dead. And
I didn't know what was going on. I was too busy kicking over bottles of Crown.
that's true. But you know what? Honest to God, that whatever that bottle is made out of, like
I kicked it over, but barely spilled a drop.
yeah. And it's funny because I was fuming that night, but it's still one of the funniest. That whole night, everything. There's more to this story that I'm not.
Oh, it's funny. I mean, there's chicken nuggets involved. I mean, there's a lot happening that night. There's $20 bills getting eaten. I mean, yeah.
Somebody started the night in jeans and ended up in Daisy Duke shorts.
Yeah.
A lot of these are the same person.
Yeah, they really are.
But and that's the thing is like no trouble, like there was never fights or anything like that. It was just us, like, and that's just like where we can, if we're all to be in the same room, like, well, it'll just be those stories. And Jeremy's at the center of a lot of those things because it's like him and his dad are just such great people. His mom's always been super sweet. Yeah. And it's just coming from a good family, just like really rubbed off on Jeremy in the right way. So I honestly, we need to get Kenny G on the show.
Oh boy.
I would just love, I mean, Kenny's got just moons of stories.
Oh, for sure.
Moons of stories. That's not even a saying.
No,
Moons of
all right.
stories.
Again, I was trying to move on to save you, and you just kept going with it. I've done this a few times now.
Cookie hands me a line to save myself with it, and then I just grab the line and jump.
No, but no, he does, and not just in hockey. Because I mean, you heard Jeremy say like the reason he was able to finally get transferred out to Penticton, he was working for Canada Post. He was a postal worker up in Canada. So.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing is just like looking back and having Jeremy on here instead of it like I wanted Jeremy to tell a story because like everybody hears that we think Jeremy's a goofball, but he's got a humongous successful hockey background.
Very much so, yeah.
But
and we didn't even get. I brought it up at the beginning. We never even got to it. His time in the U-Haul and being in the Thrashers documentary.
He's in that.
We never can figure out if you can see him, but the games against Motor City, he's involved. And yeah, he's probably just sitting on the bench because he jokes, and he'll have to come back on and tell this better. But he jokes that when they started seeing those guys, he didn't get a lot of playing time because the NHL was on strike at the time, and like he was teammates with Chelios and Hatcher and those guys.
Yep.
And Jeremy was a defenseman, so he wasn't getting a ton of playing time, and that was the one game that he wasn't too upset about it.
Oh, well, I can imagine. Everybody thinks that the Thrashers are such a great thing, and even hockey guys. I'm like, what a mess.
It's an absolute embarrassment.
But
absolute embarrassment. But no, he didn't play. He didn't really play much against them, and he wasn't upset by that.
No, there are pictures of Jeremy playing. I remember we saw him before, and mind you, like you couldn't really tell. Jeremy's 6'4". I mean, Jeremy's a big guy.
Yeah.
And even this, we used to play a game called 3-Puck before practice. Like, it was funny because.
He's so talented, man.
Well, me, you, and Jeremy would defeat the whole team.
Yeah, Jeremy's so skilled. His dad, his dad will tell stories if we get him on about how good Jeremy was at that age. You know, he should have been in the BCHL. He potentially major juniors.
He could have gone D1, but he still played D3.
Yeah, he was. You know, again, here we are pumping his tires when he's not even here, but his dad will tell you, and his dad's not just pumping his tires either. His dad's he's a hockey guy. He's not going to bullshit you, like even for his own son.
Yeah.
Jeremy had that kind of talent. So
Yeah, and I just think Jeremy, but it's kind of the same thing. Like he loves being in the ACHA, found his niche. I mean, and a lot of people go to D1 when they really should go to D3. Like Buffalo State was recruiting me hard, and they were bad. And if I'd went there, I could have probably started as a freshman, and it would have been a way smarter decision. And Jeremy just probably makes this smarter decisions. However, from what I hear, he probably would have played quite frequently, even at the D1 level.
yeah, he was good. He was very good.
So, but yeah, that was the cool thing is just when I got to the Brahmas with you and Jeremy, like when I finally came out to the ice for practice with everybody, like I was like, both these guys are hockey players. And then started seeing the kids, like, cause I watched that one game, and the game was against Fresno. Actually, the very first game I ever saw was when Fresno was in town, and it was like a middle.
Remember when we had that midnight game or whatever?
I don't remember.
We had to play a Saturday game. I think it was after the pro game.
Yeah,
and the pro game went to like a 10-round shootout or something.
Yeah, I remember that because we were just in the stands, like, come on.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
And yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Those Brahmas games were fun though, and again, kudos to Fonger because what a coach that guy is. But he's for someone that's shorter than me, he's a tough dude.
Oh, dude, I wouldn't mess with him.
But yeah, it's just Jeremy just keeps on, and then again, has he ever had a non-winning season?
Not that he might have. The early days, trying to remember.
Maybe like early Texas days,
No, like early, maybe even the earliest days at MSU, but I don't think that's right either. I know in the 3 years we were at MSU together. I mean, granted, my first year was right in the dead of COVID. We played half a season.
Yeah.
But our last year there, we didn't make nationals, but I still think we had a winning season. We just didn't. We weren't ranked very high. We weren't as good that year, and there was a lot going on. But
I'm pretty sure you did have a winning season. I think I've had this conversation with you.
We just weren't ranked high enough, and hindsight being what it is, it was probably the best for a lot of reasons. Because at that point, we weren't coming back. They didn't want us back. We kind of had, by the time all was said and done, we knew there was a change. And not only that, we go back to the cost of things. That was one of the years that Nationals was in Boston. So it would have been an incredibly expensive trip for a single elimination scenario. And in the years that I was there, the 2 years we went to Nationals, we lost in game one. Jeremy had won, in the past where he'd won a game or two at Nationals like we did last year. But then the time I was there, we had been bounced. Now, the first year, the COVID year when we played Ohio, that was a heartbreaker. I shouldn't say we should have won that game, but it was a heartbreaking end to that game. I gave up.
That was this past year, right?
No. I'm talking about my first year at MSU. So that was
okay.
Going on 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago now. Last year wasn't really a heartbreaker. I mean, we lost to Minot State 4-0.
And they won the national championship then, or no, that UNLV won.
Yeah, UNLV won.
Was it them two in the championship game?
No, I think it was Adrian, wasn't it? I think it was UNLV and Adrian, maybe. I don't think it was Minot. It might have been. I don't remember now. Kind of tuned it out. But yeah, we had a great run last year. Made it to the quarterfinals. It was unbelievable, and the game against Utah in round 2 is something I'll never ever forget. It was epic.
Nice. Yeah, and I mean that's a great thing about, again, you get the right guys in the pot, and the good things are going to happen.
On paper, we're a hell of a lot better this year, but a lot of the teams we're playing are a lot better this year too. So it's going to be the kind of season as great as last year was, going 26-2 in the regular season. I mean, part of you goes, I don't necessarily want that. Because some of those games weren't competitive at all.
I was about to say, it's better to have competitive games and
we went up to play Roosevelt University, and both games were like 14-1 or something. Like, that's not fun for anybody.
Where's that?
Chicago. Those aren't fun for anybody. It's the tight games that are fun. Obviously, you want to win them, but at least you're battling, and those are a blast. I mean, don't be wrong. We're 26-2 in the regular season, 28-3 overall. We're never gonna sneeze at that.
Yeah.
But we wished a lot of those games were more competitive. Our players did too. Like, it was topic of conversations. Guys even concerned about coming back if the schedule wasn't improved, and we definitely improved it this year. It's by average, by national ranking average, our schedule is about 15 places higher this year than it was last year.
That's good. Because, I mean, this thing, you can't win in a championship series if you're not going through adversity during the year.
And that was just it. Like we talked about it going into nationals, even though, yeah, we did win the first 2 games, but we hadn't played, when we got to play Minot, we hadn't seen anything like Minot all year. And it just, we flat out couldn't. We have a super talented team. And if they had had a tougher schedule leading up to it, and that, again, that's partly on us, partly on timing of getting the schedule. Because, again, being a first-year team, as you know, it's hard to convince those teams.
Yeah,
we're going to be worthy. We don't have to convince them anymore. They're all reaching out to us at this point. But
what was the score of the Minot game?
4-0. Yeah.
That's not even bad. I mean, it's not bad
No,
considering.
I mean, they outshot us by quite a bit. We had a couple of chances we could have buried, but we didn't. And we hadn't seen speed like that all year. And not that we couldn't hang with them, but we weren't. I won't say we weren't prepared for it, because we did, I think, a good job, of leading up to it and game film and all that. But we weren't prepared in the sense we hadn't seen anything like that.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing, man. People just aren't giving ACHA its flowers necessarily, but it's these D1 teams are solid.
Oh, I mean, so many guys in our league that are either NCAA Division I transfers. There's USHL guys in our league. We've got a guy coming in this year that we've heard a story about when someone came to watch him practice, who this guy, coached or owned or coached whatever a WHL team. And the first thing he said was, "Why isn't that guy playing for us?" He was in the KI. Now he's coming to play for us. So it's, we're getting that kind of talent. It's awesome.
KI is kind of like that sleeper agent league where you got these kids that should be playing junior A. And
our captain this year, we just named him captain over the summer. He'll be a sophomore. He's from the BCHL. I mean, he played over 100-something games in the BCHL. He's absolute stud. But we got a whole lineup like that. It's absolute studs.
That's awesome.
The hardest part we're going to have all year is, putting the lineup together. There's going to be guys watching the game that don't deserve to be sitting in the stands, quite frankly.
And that's
problem
crazy.
to have. It's a great problem to have, but it's as you know, as a coach, it's a shitty thing to put guys in the stands. Again, I was that guy my entire pro career. It just sucks. But there's only so many guys you can put in the lineup.
I didn't like putting guys in the stands that needed to be in the stands. It's just like it
That's
sucks.
why I didn't like trades. I didn't like any of that. Like when we were coaching at Tier 3, and my voice is definitely going now, but when we were coaching at Tier 3, I didn't like trades unless it was a discipline thing or something like that, because I saw it as my job. I'm not going to trade a kid because he's not good enough. It was my job to make him better.
Yeah.
So why am I trading just because he's not good enough? That's Tier 3 is not. I wasn't about wins and losses. I was about, my job is to make you better, to get you to that next level. I'm not going to just get rid of you because you're not good enough. Then I'm not doing my job.
I think the only trade I ever made that I initiated, did everything, was that goalie I told you about up in Spooner, just because his dad was all over my ass every day, and I just
Yeah.
with it. And honestly, it's kind of like the story you're talking about, the one kid. If I put him in, it could have been dangerous for him.
Yeah.
And I'm not about to do that. He shouldn't have been there in the first place. But I mean, obviously we'll be talking. You'll be here all the time throughout the rest of the summer. But with you and Jeremy, man, I know it's almost time. So I'm pretty excited to see everything.
Yeah, I think I figured out, what is today? Today's the 6th. I was looking at this the other day. We are, let's see, I can do it right now. It popped right up. Our game 1 is exactly 30 days from today.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
September 6th.
School starts on the 18th, so that's 12 days. First practice is the 25th. I mean, it's creeping up on. I'm stressing because not everything's here yet.
Yeah, that's the other unfortunate part about ACHA is you got to sit around and wait for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we don't have a ton this year because we had so many returners, but there's enough, and it's got me stressed. So
yeah. Well, hopefully you get everything in.
Some of it's in Texas right now. I'm driving to Texas tomorrow. Well, as we're recording this, I'm driving there tomorrow, Thursday. And I'll be back Sunday, and some of our team stuff is down there that I'm picking up. So, yeah, next time you see me, I will most likely be doing my part of the recording from 102-degree weather in Texas.
Yeah, but you know what? Actually, no, I got nothing positive to say to that.
No, it's not a dry heat either.
No, I was gonna try and sugarcoat this, but I got nothing.
No sugarcoating it. Because I've been trying to decide where in the house I want to actually set up. I was like, man, it'd be kind of cool. My parents have this thing in the back that's covered. It'd be nice. Like, I'd set up outside. I'm going, what the hell am I talking about? Set up outside.
You said that on the phone. That's why I immediately said, like, what about that old office space you used to work on?
Well, there's no room in there, but yeah.
But outside, hell no.
No, I'll have to figure something out. Yeah.
Why don't you just drive to Paso and stream from Tortuga? Just
No, that's absolutely not happening.
Well, we thank
All
everybody
right.
for joining us. Finally meeting the great Jeremy Law.
Yes.
Definitely, please remember to like and subscribe. We're going to be able to go live now sometimes. We're still figuring out
Dangerous.
all the details of that, and you know, we're only a few hundred hours away and a few hundred subscribers away from being able to really take this thing up to the next level. So we appreciate the continued support. Please share it out, get other people to subscribe. If you're our friends and family, please finally do something. I think it's becoming a running theme with me right now, but
Yeah. So,
Cookie,
right.
can we do your standard sign off? Because I'm uncomfortable if we just.
Hi, guys. Like and subscribe.
There it is. That's all I wanted.
Was a cold November morning when I got scared and I left without a warning. I'm so freaking sorry that I didn't stay. Didn't mean to run and throw it all away. Brain wishing, hoping that it's not too